take us on a trip down memory lane with the new documentary, Mr. Dress Up, The Magic of Make-Believe. Joining us to bring back the nostalgia is director Rob McCallum and Mr. Dress Up series regular guest star, Alyson Court. Hi! Welcome to the show!
We're so pumped to be here, and we're not alone, clearly.
I know, this is huge. When I walked in this morning and saw the Tickle Trunk backstage, I just was flooded with memories. It's absolutely amazing. Do you just, like, carry this around with you now?
Well, frankly, I didn't know what to wear because the Tickle Trunk is usually in my closet, and it wasn't there this morning, but thankfully I had this.
Well, you nailed it. Looking sharp.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, first off, congratulations on this documentary. Not only did it premiere at TIFF this year, but it also won the People's Choice Documentary Award.
We've been very lucky. It's won some audience awards all across Canada.
Yeah.
Toronto, of course, Sudbury, London, Ontario, and Silver Wave in New Brunswick as well. It's just been embraced by everyone, and there's no words. It's just overwhelmingly good kindness, and people are, reaching back to what grabbed them in the first place and sharing it back with us.
Completely. And I think going to that, it brought back so many childhood memories for me. And it clearly is doing that for so many Canadians across the country. Getting to hear those stories from people, does it feel like you're just making this connection?
Yeah, it's discovering a story that you thought you knew, but hearing all the tales that made it happen, which is always exciting, right? It's not a mystery, and you get to hear all the inner workings about why it worked the way that it did, and then all of a sudden it takes on this bigger meaning, and you want it to be a bigger part of your life going forward, especially in a time where we don't have a show like that, really catering not only to our youth, but to ourselves as parents and adults and grown-ups.
Totally.
I say that loosely because...
I really liked the air quotes for it. It was really good.
Just older people.
Older kids.
There we go.
Yes,
kids.
exactly.
The big kids.
A big kid.
Yeah.
No, Rob, what was it like getting into the vault, like diving into the world of Ernie Combs and Mr. Dress Up?
It's like opening the Tickle Trunk. You never know what you're going to find, but everything you do discover just brings a smile to your face, infinitely more bigger than the last thing.
Yeah. It's honestly, I think Mr. Dress Up is such a special thing because, speaking for myself, but I feel like so many people experienced it, but everyone got something new and different out of it. It's kind of like a community thing. We all had the same experience, but we experienced it differently. And I think
it's a language we speak, right? We all know the different words, but as soon as you say dress up, some of us think about those scissors being cut.
Yeah.
Some of us remember our friends that were on the show, the costumes, our puppet friends that lived in the treehouse, maybe?
Well, that's okay. So you've said that this show shouldn't have worked. It's an older man with puppets who live in a tree.
Yeah.
How did that kind of become the hit that it was?
Why shouldn't that work?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. I know, it sounds rad.
But if you pitched it today, nobody would greenlight something like that, right? It would just be like, no, we can't make that happen. It worked because the people behind the scenes wanted it to work. They were informed, and they knew how to make it work, and they didn't give up when adversity kept hitting them over the head again and again and again. And because they knew what they were doing, they weren't going to take crap from anybody. And they were going to stand up for what they knew was right. And guess what? They were right, and it changed all of Canada as a result.
Yeah, it really did. It's so amazing. And Alyson, now, many of us, myself included, this is a reason why I'm also, like, very excited, know you as Lunette from The Big Comfy Couch. I still try to do a 10-second tidy. It doesn't work.
I heard you're actually really good at it, especially with all the cooking stuff and everything.
Lots of hands make light work. When you were on Mr. Dress Up, though, you got your start there. Did you kind of learn a ton from him, and what were some of your favorite memories?
Absolutely. Well, first day on set, I show up and I have my music rehearsal with Lois and Hank. And he's there. And I had been acting a bit by then, probably about a year and a half professionally. And I had, like a year before, I had done a movie with Big Bird.
Oh my gosh, no big deal.
It was like, okay, I got this,
I got
not
this.
a problem. And then he's there, and just regular guy, jeans and a sweatshirt. And it hits you the same way that people are being affected by this movie. It just suddenly, it hits you in your heart. You're instantly that little kid, and it is like seeing the real life Santa Claus. Not pretentious, not over the top, nothing wild and wacky, just warm and comforting. And it was amazing. I mean, I was super nervous as a result, but he was just so good with me and he knew the effect he had on people. And so just making everyone feel welcomed and part of the team, and gently taking you through the tech rehearsal. We would do that first, then we would do a dress rehearsal, and then it was live to tape. And barring the scenery falling down on us,
it was
or
happening.
you know, somebody swearing, which didn't happen. We never had to, you know, pick up. It was like so warts and all, little mistakes here and there. We just rolled with it. So it was a great study for me in learning how to work with multi-cameras and really just learn a lot of stuff and go, go, go.
Yeah.
And that paid off dividends then later on in my career, certainly with Comfy Couch.
Completely.
But also how to talk to kids.
Yes.
How to talk to that kid at home and make them feel like they're part of it, but not be condescending.
No, and that's something that Mr. Dress Up also never was. He was accessible. That show felt like no matter where you lived in Canada, no matter what you had at home, no matter what your situation was, you could do something. And I loved that you watched him create. It wasn't an idea of creating. You actually got to see him do those things and happen in real time. Which was is wild to me, because that just doesn't really happen anymore. And it was also so amazing and touching in the documentary to see so many different celebrities talking about what Mr. Dress Up and growing up with Mr. Dress Up meant to them. You've got the Bare Naked Ladies, Michael J. Fox, my bud Andrew Fung. It was so great seeing so many people from so many different generations, so many different situations, getting to kind of celebrate this person that meant so much to all of us. I feel like we all felt like we had a personal relationship with him. And most of us weren't lucky enough to do that, but it didn't really that doesn't take away from it.
No, and those are some amazing, notable Canadians, but we could take cameras on any street in any city in Canada and get some just powerful responses as well. Especially at the end of the film, when everybody gets a chance to talk to Ernie. They had one moment to talk to him, what would they say? I'm sure everyone in the audience would have something to say to Mr. Dress Up.
100%.
I'm sure that you would have something. I know Alyson would have something to say.
Totally.
Right? And that's why it matters, because it comes from the heart. And that's why the film, I think, works too.
I totally agree. It was, honestly, thank you so much for making this. It's such an amazing thing to witness. And thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, happy to be here.
What
Thank
a delight,
you.
and thanks for bringing the tickle truck.
Of course. Can I take it back so I have clothes to wear tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.